Hopefully I didn't mess anything up. It's been a while since we did this, like a whole week. Okay, I have Twitter open, getting ready to do this. Waiting on a Bungie, so I like to say.
Waiting on a Bungie.
Waiting on a Bungie. Let me make sure I'm actually live before I make myself look like an idiot and we start talking.
I mean, isn't that normal though? On a nightly basis?
Oh my god! We're alive! Yeah, okay, what's up everyone? What's up? Okay. I'm gonna give us a proper intro this week because I feel like it. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Last Word podcast weekly show thing that we do. It's just Last Word.
That's what this is?
That's what, wait, what?
Wait, I thought you were inviting me for something else.
Last Word's returning in Warmind? What?
What?
In before. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, welcome. This is episode 97 or something. It's probably...
342, I think.
Yeah, 1,749,742. This is not an Amazon ghost. This is a replica. Amazon ghosts are black. Anyways, welcome to the Last Word. While we are waiting on Bungie to Bungie it up here, rip. Okay, let's just do this. While we're waiting on Bungie to Bungie it up, we're just going to be going over the Reddit thread for now about everything that we know, provided by Rise of Bacon. Fantastic guy. Got to meet him at the Destiny reveal event. He's pretty cool. We're going to go over all this stuff. As we talk about it, you guys leave your opinions down in the comment section. That's how this works. And then I and my co-host, Jay-Z Basketball. That's what an intro is. I totally forgot to introduce you.
No, it's okay.
We'll be talking about it. He exists. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm a robot.
There you go, guys. Welcome everyone in chat. Welcome. I'm so freaking excited. Yep, I have a new Rasputin hype emote that looks hella fresh, if I might add. Like, god dang, I did a good job. Sorry, I hate to rub it in.
Hey, at least we don't pat ourselves on the back on this channel here.
There you go. I need to make sure I have freaking keep checking Twitter. This is dangerous. It's who knows what'll happen. All right, so we're gonna go through everything we know. So the first thing that we are getting, actually, here, let me look at the 1.2.0 roadmap. 1.2.0 roadmap. Bungie.
So we're gonna go over this and then kind of just like stuff that we like from it that we took away. Cool.
Yep. Everyone that's just joining us, welcome. Skarrow, do you recommend getting the DLC? Igor, I would tell my mother to buy this DLC, and I don't think my mom's ever played video games, so probably. All right, so let's go into this. So the first thing that we are getting with this is going to be the start of Season 3, meaning we will get huge refreshes to everything. All new ornaments to pretty much everything and more. Eververse is, of course, going to be rotated. We're going to get a new exclusive armor set, new exotic ornaments, which I'm personally very excited for because I love grinding my exotic ornaments. And then we are also going to be getting update 1.2.0, which contains a plethora of amazing things. So, seasonal crucible rankings, which we will be getting into more in a bit. Private matches, which I honestly feel like are going to be pretty underutilized. They haven't been hyped up very much. I haven't heard anyone really significant in the community really excited about those. I am excited to start getting private matches together because Jay-Z, when we did private matches in Destiny 1, were you a part of that?
I was a couple of the nights. Yeah, not like the majority of them though.
Right. I mean, they're fun. I really like doing it, hanging out with friends. It's always a good reason. We get a vault space increase. So remember, with this update, I believe we're getting either 50 additional spaces or 75 additional spaces. I think it might just be 50. And then later on down the road, we're getting a more permanent fix. We are getting the multi-emote system, which one huge change with this I haven't seen anyone mention. Well, actually, that's all I've seen a couple of people mention it. That I haven't heard anyone really emphasize is the emote vault collection is gone now. You will permanently have every single emote on your character at all times, and you can choose which 4 of those you want to put on each of your 4 D-pads, which is really cool.
We're gonna have huge. Yes.
Yeah, that's like, I want to start seeing more of that in Destiny in general. I want to have all my ships on me at one time.
Yes.
I want to have any collection I have should honestly just be on me. And same thing, like, Dim does a great job of this, and I don't want to undermine the developers and get rid of that. But, like, we should just be able to access everything from orbit, like, anyways. There's no reason to limit us, because all you're making us is you're just forcing us to go to the tower. It's not like we have to do anything special to access them. So at least ship sparrows, and what they're doing with emotes, I think that's really cool. And okay, emblems, especially emblems.
Well, I think emotes more than emblems, though.
I'd say they're about. I mean, they're both a method of expression that have little consequence on the game. So I think both of them should be, at least those two things should be available at any time from anywhere. The emote system, the UI looks really cool. You can just, I mean, there's no limit to which emotes you can put wherever. We're definitely, I'm going to be planning some, like, team, like, our world's first attempt. We're going to have to sync up some emotes, Jay-Z. We've got to have this down, you know?
Well, of course. I mean, how many times have we been in a raid and we're just goofing around and we're like, man, I don't have that emote equipped, or, you know, hold on, let me equip this emote. So, like, you can just go to your inventory and pull them up as long as you have it. I'm gonna love that. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
How's everyone feeling? Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Rager's Claymore here in a bit. That gun has me more excited for the future of Destiny than anything else in the history of Destiny, and I'll explain why in a bit. Exotic weapon Masterworks. Now, what they are doing with this is so cool. So, from what I've heard, every exotic weapon has some hidden challenge that you have to do with it. They didn't clarify any further than that. There's some type of challenge associated with every exotic weapon that will make you unlock a catalyst for the weapon, and that is how you masterwork it. So, I honestly don't have a good example, but let's just say for, like, the Vigilance wing, you have to kill 100 Minotaurs with it or something, and that will be hidden. Your progression may or may not be given to you, I'm not sure. Then you unlock the Masterwork, and the Masterworks they're crazy. Full auto Vigilance wing, maximum range Crimson, maximum range Crimson. Those are the two that we know so far. Like, these are substantial upgrades on your exotics. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. And
I have some notes to talk on those later.
So. Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, we brought them up now. Go.
Well, I mean, so to me, this is super exciting. Because it's going to make every exotic useful to have in your inventory at one point or another to do some task. So everybody will get to play with the exotics. Maybe you fall in love with an exotic that way, because honestly, like, most exotics now, your average player, they pick them up, they run through a couple public events maybe, or through Crucible, and if it doesn't click with them, then they probably never touch it again, you know, that type of thing. So this will actually give you a reason to learn the intricacies, words are hard, of each exotic, and do the tasks that you have to do to unlock the Masterworks for it. So yeah, super excited about that.
I'm also really excited, because this is one of the things that we've been talking about forever. Hardcore players can get it, and they can grind for it, and it will reward them, and casual players might not necessarily get it, that kind of thing. It also enables me, if each objective is different for every exotic, I mean, that's potentially 36 videos, 36 guides. Mm-hmm. That lets me help so many people.
I'm sure it will be. Like, it would make sense to each one have a specific...
And I've got to say, I love this system. Rather than just, like, I have 50 Masterwork cores saved up. After I have all my armor sets, all my weapons, I was like, I'm just going to start saving for this. And I'm really glad they changed it, because that means that I can't just day one have every exotic. I have to go find out what these secret hidden objectives are and do that. And like I said, it's not plus 10 range. It's maximum range on a weapon with, like, some of the shortest range in the game, a hand cannon.
Well, let me add on to that. So, since day one of Destiny 2, I've had the feeling that exotic weapons should be exotic. They should set themselves above legendary weapons. So even your Masterworks, they're showing that they're setting them apart from legendary weapons when you Masterwork them by giving these, not crazy add-ons, but these substantial add-ons to make you use the weapon. Like, it can't get any better, because, like, yes, things might be unbalanced, but I would rather have fun and have some things unbalanced than to have everything like by the books. I don't know about you, but that's kind of
No, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's just exciting. And I like that they're not calling it Masterwork, they're calling it Catalyst, because that kind of helps you, like what you were saying, you know, Masterworks are an upgrade to the Legendary, and there's kind of like a distinction there. It'll be like Catalysts and then Exotics. Like, there will once again be a very clear distinction there, which is something. Eggy in chat said, whatever the Vigilance Wing Masterwork is, I'll be grinding for it. We already know Vigilance Wing becomes fully automatic. Yeah. Which is when it already has one of the fastest time to kills in the game is a very dangerous thing. I'm super excited to see what happens. It's crazy. The next one, seasonal vendor progression. I'm very excited for this. A, because I love knowing how much of a no-life I am. B, because with returning progression in ranks that are on a seasonal basis, as we see with the Crucible stuff, that leads into huge opportunities for limited time exotics, limited time legendaries that only hardcore people can get. And it's something you actually have to work towards, and it'll make your Vanguard rank, it'll make your Dead Orbit rank, your Future Workhole rank, it'll mean something, which is just awesome. I'm very excited for that. I want to see, even if it's just exotic cosmetics like class items, I want to see those return. Absolutely. The next one is pretty exciting. Exotic weapon sandbox changes. They showed off a lot of these. There's just so many at this point. I don't even know what to be hyped for. Like, every change they...
Lance.
Graviton... Oh, so you watched the stream just a couple minutes ago. The time to kill is just gross, right? And it seems really easy to use. Because there's only 2 shots, you can keep it on the head a lot easier.
I mean, it does kick more than other pulse rifles on that second bullet. But, I mean, it's a pulse rifle. I love pulse rifles, so...
Yeah.
It's going to be my go-to weapon. That and the Skyburner's Oath from Hipfire.
Gorgeous.
Oh, man.
Gorgeous. Yeah. I'm excited. Rat King is come out of nowhere and excited me for PvE challenges.
Even the Sturm, the 2-tap.
Oh my god, the Sturm!
Yeah,
like,
with the
that's the thing, like, I'm getting giddy. Oh, so my favorite change that they have done, they didn't really highlight this. The tractor cannon, they made a couple of pretty significant changes to it. So, A, it still pushes people. B, this is a huge Crucible change. Whenever you hit someone with the tractor cannon, they immediately become suppressed. So if you knock someone off the edge, they can no longer try to jump back on. They just have to fall, which is just a beautiful change in my opinion. That's almost poetic. That
makes complete sense though.
It's awesome.
The whole part of the weapon was trolling originally, so now you're ensuring that trolling, but they made it also PvE compatible, where the target takes more damage now when you hit them. So that's going to be awesome, in my opinion. It might lead to some really cool like combinations that you can use with your fire team. Right.
That's why I'm excited about it. Like, there's just... One thing I have been saying, I don't know if I've said this in a video or on a live stream yet. I might have said it last week in last week's last word. But with this, Bungie is very much going, fuck it. Let them be gods. Yeah. Let them have fun. Yes. Let everything be powerful. And that's awesome. Like, that makes me so happy. Like, just unbelievably happy and just excited. I miss running around patrol, just having fun with stupid stuff. And like with this, we'll be able to do like raid challenges with Rat King. Rat King will be viable in PvE. Whoever would have thought that would have happened?
Yeah.
Oh, and then the tractor cannon. Sorry, I forgot. The third change is it also applies a debuff on enemies where void damage now does immense damage to them. So like in the example they showed, they went to the arms dealer and they hit him with the force cannon, and then like 2 Nova bombs killed him. So
okay, so that's all. It'll make the void classes playable, because even the Titan
that's
class.
exactly what I was saying, because there are no DPS heavy classes. So any week in the Nightfall where you have to run no DPS heavy void classes. So any week that you have to run the Nightfall with a void class, it's always been like, dang it, you know, like this is going to be a really campy one. Now it's like they're just as aggressive. That's awesome. That's so cool.
I agree, like, because Titan and Well, probably the solar or the for the warlock, the solar class is used the least, but void is probably used the second least because just the storm caller is so much better for most activities. But this will bring the void walker back into relevance, hopefully.
Right. And one thing I'm really excited about, like there was a lot of this is kind of going on the hype of the DLC in general. There was a lot of opportunity here for Bungie just to recycle stuff and balance it and make a very mundane game and keep Destiny 2 where it was. But, you know, they're keeping some of the same exotics, but they're making them interesting. They're bringing back Mars from Destiny 1, but it is infinitely more interesting. You have one of the coolest public events, which we'll talk about in a bit, are kind of like returning. You have the Hive coming back in a completely revamped way. There, you have all these story elements, you have all these game mechanics coming back, but Bungie was like, no, we're not just bringing them back. It's essentially like a retcon for everything in this, including the exotics, including how Crucible works, which we'll talk about in a second. The emote system, everything that is being touched in this DLC, there is no minor changes. Everything is just like, bam, like next level. And that's why I'm so hyped for this DLC, because this is a realization by Bungie of our game does not have to be in this box, you know? Become a Legend isn't logging on once a week. Becoming Legend is having fun with some of the most bizarre mechanics, bizarre enemies, bizarre exotics. And I'm just so excited because while there might not be an insane amount of content here, which, don't get me wrong, there seems to be a very substantial amount. But, you know, maybe not like a Taken King worth of content here. This is, in my opinion, more interesting than any of the content we have gotten in Destiny this far, because it's the biggest leap for Bungie to take. Everything up to this point has been small steps, natural progression. Right here, they're taking a leap of faith, which I am super excited for. And
yeah, I mean, like I've always said this since day one that we've been doing this podcast. They have the gun mechanics down pat, like better than just about any other game. Mm-hmm. What they needed was to bring that fun back up to what we experienced prior, and that's making you a powerful guardian. You wield these insane weapons, but you know they all felt I don't want to say bland because they didn't feel bland, but they didn't feel like special. And
yeah, they weren't exotic.
Yeah. And now you're giving these ultra powerful with these unique aspects of them that they're good for different situations, and so it gives a lot more movement in your inventory too, instead of just like I've said, we run the same X3 guns through every encounter pretty much and barely ever change them up. So
I definitely agree. I think in vanilla Destiny 1, exotics were weird. They all had their quirks. Yes. You had, you know, Gallahorn, you had Icebreaker, Vex Mythoclast. They always felt weird. But as the game went on, I feel like the majority of exotics got more mundane. I mean, of course, in Rise of Iron, you had some cool ones like Sleeper, Simulant, Outbreak Prime. But I think especially like the raid weapons coming back as exotics, that's a perfect example of they were just exotics because they had burns on them. Like there's nothing cool. They didn't feel unique. They were just like legendaries that did more damage to shielded enemies. And then you of course, I mean, there's so many examples. Monte Carlo, Jade Rabbit. There's just Hereafter, Zen Meteor. Like you have all of these exotics in Destiny 1 and in Destiny 2 that they don't have a quirk. You know, when people think of exotics, they think Wordcliff Coil, Colony, Cold Heart. These things that are super unique that don't have a legendary counterpart. And this right here makes every exotic not have a counterpart, which I'm just good job, Bungie. I can't wait to get my hands on this stuff. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, because they all look unique, but yet like they didn't have that unique feeling. Now they play as well or as unique as they look. So that's and plus a lot of these new legendaries are looking pretty sweet too.
Yeah, which we'll talk about because they have so many. I mean, even the legendaries are becoming like exotics. It's pretty cool. Next, they're adding heroic strike modifiers. unless they this is the one thing I'm kind of like met on, until they give me a reason to run heroic strikes, I honestly don't care. And then Nightfall challenge cards. So essentially, the Nightfalls that we know now, just with more modifiers, more customizable ability, hopefully more exclusive loot. That'd be pretty cool. But that's everything on the roadmap. So now we can go talk about everything that we know about, like the DLC itself. So the first thing, I'm just going to go down this list. The first thing, all new raid layer, Spire of Stars. Not going to say I called it, but I totally called it. Like, I did a couple of times.
There's that back padding again.
There you go. I'm pretty excited for it. I mean...
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I have no idea what to expect. Our team is the best team we've ever had. I expect to kill it. And I had a dream last night, a nightmare, that we got World's First, but I forgot to stream it. And it was the worst stream I've ever had.
Yeah, because none of us would be like, hey, you're not streaming.
Yeah, your stream's not on there. Yeah, it was not a good time, man. One sec. This is kind of, there we go. Let's just get rid of this. No one cares about this. There we go. The next thing, new themed weapons, armor, and gear to earn. So we can actually tie this into the new activity escalation protocol. So this is like if Court of Oryx, Archon's Forge, and Prison of Elders just had like a gorgeous baby. That was one of the hardest endgame activities that we've had yet. They said it was so difficult that the people at the summit had trouble with it. So the top tier Destiny players said it was very difficult and then asked them to make it more difficult. So it's going to be very hard. It is 7 rounds, each one being progressively harder. It's kind of like sort of like an inverse tower defense. They're coming towards your tower, but that's to help you kill them. And then the 7th round is going to be a boss round with unique mechanics. There are 5 separate bosses that rotate on a weekly basis. Each one has unique rewards and mechanics to learn, and maybe even arenas, because in different trailers we've seen the Guardian kind of doing this thing in different areas and that kind of stuff. So possibly different arenas, but don't hold your breath there.
I don't think it will be from the footage. It looks like it's all in the same.
Well, we have only seen footage up to this point of the first 5. But in the trailer, you can see like inside of kind of like a Warmind arena room thing. It could be a mission, very possibly.
Yeah.
Or part of the strike. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
So
go ahead.
To me, this looked like a hyper Court of Oryx. Because Court of Oryx, you chose which mission you wanted to play. This one, you can choose how long you want to stay in, basically. So that's exciting. Also, I don't know if this is what you're going to talk about after this, but the weapons that drop in that help you in further instances. So basically, it's a progression thing. Like as you get more weapons, they will help you in that event be more powerful specifically for that event. And that's what I've been calling from Bungie for a while, is if you're going to make a raid or special event, give me items that I can use in that event specifically that help me with that. So super excited, super pumped about that as well, because it gives you reason to keep playing it over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, and the weapons, just to clarify, they will help you a lot in that arena, but that's not the only place they will help you.
Correct. Yeah, but I mean, they have perks for that arena.
Just 1 second. One of the people said that you can see 2 escalation protocol logos on the map. Oh, yeah, he's right. You can. I have a picture of the map on stream right now. So it looks like there might be 2 separate arenas here, based on if those logos are...
That would be cool, though, like, just so you're not playing the same one over and over.
Maybe it's like, go here to fight the boss kind of thing. Yeah, that's really cool. I agree. So the weapon perks that we know about, I believe we know 3 of them. We could know a little bit more. So the SMG, whenever you break an enemy's shield with that SMG, it will take increased kinetic damage for a short amount of time from precision hits. And that will correlate over to Crucible. So if you thought team shotting was bad now... if you have one guy running the SMG, one guy with a kinetic like hand cannon, you're gonna get melted real fast, okay? The shotgun is fully automatic, has 8 rounds in the magazine, and you do more damage after you knife an enemy. So it's essentially going to be like a useful fourth horseman, which I'm super excited for. And then the sniper rifle has one of the most unique Destiny perks ever. If you aim down the sight for a long period of time, your next critical shot does substantially more damage. We didn't get an exact multiplier on there, but he said it's enough to make you want to do it, which is pretty exciting.
And it has triple tap, which is...
And triple tap, right.
So
which
it's going to be a PvE sniper.
Exactly. I'm so freaking excited.
Yeah.
Let's see what people are saying. Yay, horde mode. Let's see. You should be underleveled when doing it because it takes roughly a month for high-level players to get maximum light. Yes, Dylan, that's a good point. That's something we're going to hit on in a second. They changed the progression system. Hardcore players take about a month to hit maximum light, which is awesome. I'm so excited for that change. Someone else said something that I thought was pretty good. Oh yeah, Jesus. What if there are specific weapons each week? And I think they're maybe not specific weapons, but they did say each of the bosses, all 5 of them, have some type of specific reward. I don't know. I mean, weapons kind of make sense for that. If it's going to be like different bosses, though, I would hope that they're semi-themed to the boss. I don't want to ask for too much, but
well, that's what Court of Oryx did, didn't they? Each boss had a specific drop.
Bosses. I think you know. Well, yes, they did have specific drops, but they were calcified fragments.
That's right. That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe each boss, like, we know there's going to be collectibles, which we'll get to. Actually, we can go ahead and talk about that now. In patrol mode, there are collectibles are back. They're kind of like dead ghosts, but it looks like you have to shoot them, and they're data fragments. There's 45 of them, which is extremely similar to the calcified fragments because there were 45 of those originally. It went to 50 after hard mode was unlocked. I'm thinking it's going to be part of an exotic quest, and I would not be surprised if killing things in Escalation Protocol was part of getting these data fragments. So each one of those probably has a data fragment you can collect, and then I imagine there's going to be some type of themed something. Like, maybe just... I'd be cool with just a weapon, but we've already seen the weapons. I kind of want the specific drops. I always like for them to be surprised and to be themed after it, personally.
Yeah.
Let's see. The new relic weapon, the Valkyrie, in my opinion, the coolest relic we have ever had. A throwable spear with melees. You absorb damage. It's awesome.
It explodes when you throw it.
I'm hoping the raid layer has this in it. I really hope so.
So, and you and I were talking before we went live, but I'm hoping in the following DLC, because they did the same thing with the sword from Oryx, because they had the sword, and then you got a playable sword in Taken King.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that not necessarily they have the Valkyrie, but they have like an exotic spear or some kind of spear, because I think it would just be fun to run around with a different melee weapon other than a sword. Personally.
Exactly, and that's something I 100% agree. Like, we've had enough swords. We don't have an exotic sword in Destiny yet, but all of the different swords do something different. So, if to be truly exotic, I think you're right. I think it would have to be something unique, like a spear or something like that. The models in the game, I think that'd be really cool. I honestly, like, I think you hit it right on the nose with that. That'd be really cool.
That'd be sweet.
Kind of talking about exotics, I want to get this out of the way. Parks Asbury says talk about the sleeper. So the reason I haven't made a video on the sleeper coming back, it could be if you guys haven't seen it, there's a picture. It's all over YouTube. Everyone's clickbaiting the absolute hell out of it, so I'm sure you have, of a Titan in the background of a shot holding the sleeper simulant. And I'm not going to say the sleeper simulant is not coming back. I'm going to say every weapon we have seen looks pretty much identical to the sleeper simulant.
Yes, that shotgun especially.
We have not seen what the fusion rifle looks like yet, and we know that he is holding a fusion rifle because it's got a blue glow, and fusion rifles have a blue glow. Or linear fusion rifle. One of the 2 types of fusion rifles do. And it's, as much as I would love for the sleeper simulant to come back, it is an Ikelos weapon. All of these are named Ikelos because that is Rasputin in his protocol. I would rather a new weapon. I will always take a new weapon over an old. I will not complain if sleepers coming back, because then it'll be a secret quest and that'll be awesome, and it'll be really fun to do with friends. It'll be really good for the channel. Everyone will have fun. Everyone will be pleased because one of the best exotics ever came back. But at the same point, like, I don't want to crutch on really cool things from Destiny 1. I want to make a sleeper simulant equivalent for Destiny 2. We know Rasputin's super powerful. I just copying the past isn't necessarily the best answer for me. So I would prefer to see something new, a cooler version or something. But I'm sure as hell not gonna jump on a train and be like, Sleeper Simulant's coming back, because I like to think my channel has a little bit more integrity than that. Hopefully, at least. But
well, I'm gonna leave the podcast.
Do you think it's gonna come back?
Do I want it to come back? No. do I think they'll release it again? Yes, because it seems like they're trying to release a lot of the favorite exotics from Destiny 1 again. Do I think it's going to come back necessarily in this one? It would make sense for it to come back on this one, but I really hope it's something else, honestly, because like, especially if there's a quest for it, give us something we've never played with before. Give us something, because now we have linear fusion rifles, so like the sleeper isn't like in Destiny 1 it was like a huge, because it was the only thing that was like that. Give us something that, something that's not like anything else.
Yeah, exactly. Give us a unique new thing. I agree with that. Yeah, I really agree. The only thing I really like carrying over from Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 is, of course, the lore. I see some people asking about Anna Bray and stuff. I am considering, if you guys want me to, like updated videos about Anna Bray's story, who she is, and Zol, because he's going to be a big part of it. I'll do lore on those kind of things, but I don't want to do lore videos on like weapons and stuff, because A, we have no guarantee they're coming back, and B, honestly, I just don't want the weapons to come back. I want something new. So if you guys want videos on like the people lore and that kind of stuff, I can do that. But like, I get it. People think the sleeper's coming back. Just leave me alone about it, okay? Like, it might not. If it does, I'll be happy. It'll be cool. If it doesn't, I'll be happy. That'll be cool. It's like,
well, chances are it's just one of the new legendaries that they're all designed that way. So hopefully.
Someone said so Waker Simulant. I like it. I like it, Nestor. I like that. Next, we're getting 3 new strikes. So 1 new PS exclusive strike, which you can really tell, like, Bungie's kind of fed up with PS exclusives. They get some not so great PS exclusive armor, and then the strike that they're getting is the most used strike theme ever, which is Cabal and Vex together. We already have like 10 of those. But then the 2 strikes that we all get are really cool. 1, we have to utilize the Valkyrie, it seems like pretty much the entire strike, to defend Rasputin. And then the second one is we are going to be killing Nokris, who is trying to make Zol more powerful, which, once again, if you guys want me to do that video, that will be explained in that video. But, I mean, both the strikes look awesome. I love the Hive. Savathun's song is probably, like, my second favorite strike. First favorite in terms of, like, lore behind it. It's really cool. The Hive are just awesome, especially when they have nothing to do with the Taken. Like, the Hive are just awesome.
What about when they're frozen and covered in snow?
I'm excited. Oh, so that's one thing I actually wanted to talk about. I'm excited for that. Because one thing, it's the thumbnail for this live stream, actually. Ratul pointed this out to me. There's, like, cool little changes. So the Knights, they don't spawn shields anymore. The Knight actually has, like, a physical shield that he carries around with him.
Yeah.
That's a small change. It's really cool.
Or how about the death animations, where they kind of, like turn into, like, snow? Or
Yeah. They no longer, like, their heads don't pop off and worms come out. I like that. I very much... I like when they give us a new faction, because, it makes the world feel more alive. Not every House of the Fallen is going to have the same agenda, which, we get. We got the Splicers. They feel completely different than Fallen. And, there's not as much visually changed with this faction of enemies, and I'm not really sure how changed the mechanics are. We didn't get that much of a look at them, but I definitely saw there's new guns. For some of the like acolytes shooting different things. The Knight had a physical shield. I mean, I promise there's going to be some changed mechanics. That's just how Bungie does things. I'm personally excited about it. I don't know why people always want new races when we have 5 races in the game that all of them have loose ends in their story. I think it's probably because people don't necessarily know the lore, and they're like, okay, we're done with the Fallen, give us something new. But in reality, there's so much you could do with every race, and I'm so glad that they went this way instead of giving us a Savathûn song DLC. Yeah, go ahead.
So, can you think of a game that has like more than 5 races? To be honest, like,
I mean, I imagine World of Warcraft, but I honestly have zero idea.
I'm thinking like not like massive RPG, like just like a pseudo RPG or just a normal game. Like,
no, I can't. You're right. You were absolutely right.
But if anything, like they can add new enemies in that race, you know, rather than just make a whole new race of enemies. Exactly. Because that makes more sense. Like, just
especially like with vanilla campaign, we got the gladiators for the Cabal with the 2 swords, and we got the Incendiors with the flamethrower. And the dogs. I agree. I would much rather see new units, new types of things, because there's so much story here. And this kind of goes into what I'm going to go in. Goes into Forcer's comment. Do you think DLC is still Hive? No. And this is what I was gonna say is I love that Bungie threw this curveball in there, because I was all aboard. I mean, for all intents and purposes, guys, I am 100% behind the fact that I coined Taking Queen and then everyone else used it, because I kind of used it months before Destiny 2 came out, but let's not talk about that. So I thought the September update was going to be Savathûn. I thought it was so blatantly obvious that it kind of hurt. And I love that Bungie was like, let's step on the brakes here. Let's throw in a faction of the Hive that you didn't even know exists. And that's not going to be the focus of the September DLC. So I love Rasputin. I love the Hive. I love that Bungie totally came out of left field with the story here. And now that we've, like, no one knows what the hell is going to happen in September now. Is it going to be a Fallen DLC? That's my guess now. To me, it almost has to be a Fallen DLC.
What if it's a Siva DLC?
I mean, it could be. It could be. We know Siva is on Nessus. We know that the House of Dusk is on Mars, and that's where Prince Aldrin is. We know that the Reef needs a kind of the story needs to pick up what happened after Marasov disappeared. We know she's still alive somewhere. What happens there? I mean, that's enough story alone to be a September DLC. But I just didn't. Like, the Fallen cannot carry, in my opinion, in their current form, cannot carry a big DLC in the same fashion that the Hive can. The Hive are just majestic. They are the pure... I don't know about majestic. That was probably bad.
No, I wouldn't say majestic.
They're the pure embodiment of the darkness. They are what we are fighting against. The Fallen are just there because we kind of stole their god kind of thing. Yeah. So, I mean, just from that alone, the Hive can carry a dialogue much better. But if they have the confidence in whatever the next DLC is to carry a huge DLC like that, bring it on. I'm so excited for that. It's got to be Fallen. And
I think that they can add units like we were just talking about to make it more fleshed out and add some more story elements to it for the Fallen. So here's a question I have for you. Will you be disappointed if they don't explain how the Warmind got from Earth to Mars? No,
so I kind of already understand this. So in order for... I imagine the AI was... It's in Clovis Bray, and Clovis Bray's facility is on Mars. So I imagine Rasputin was kind of like... He was developed, his coding was developed on Mars. They shipped him to Earth. Because we know Rasputin was on Mars. And I think everyone's kind of mad at Bungie because they seem to be discounting the fact that there used to be other Warminds. You know, we hear multiple times throughout the story, like, Rasputin is the only Warmind kind of thing, because he is the only Warmind still around. Rasputin is irrelevant at the... Or, excuse me. Charlemagne is irrelevant at this point because Charlemagne is dead. There's no coming back for him. And in the, like, 3rd mission of Destiny 1, The Last Array, we gave Rasputin access to everything. There's like, the entire Cabal sequence of Grimoire is about Rasputin learning the powers of Rasputin. Of Charlemagne and what he can do on different planets, specifically Mars. And so, like, Rasputin is the only Warmind for all intents and purposes now. And so, he was developed on Mars. He flew to Earth, or they flew him to Earth. I mean, he's data at that point, so they could have just, like, wirelessly sent him to Earth. They gave him all of his compounds, his structures, his weapons, and then in The Last Array, we gave him a connection back to Charlemagne stuff on Mars So he now has access to Clovis Bray's facilities as well, which Charlotte and Maine would have had access to. So that's how I'm interpreting the story. I imagine it will be explained more.
I hope so.
Oh, it looks like Twab is out, so we can actually... I think I just got nannied. I think I just got lied to. Let me check. Twab's not out. Freaking liars! How could you do this to me? Oh, wait, no. Wait. Okay, maybe. Let me keep refreshing. I know this is boring for people here. I'll put this on as I keep refreshing and going between Twitter and Bungie.net. Because we only have like 20 minutes to talk about this. Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go.
Do we want to talk about the Redrix's Claymore?
Oh, yeah. So while we're doing this, Redrix's Claymore makes me so excited for Destiny because Bungie essentially said, if you're a casual player, we respect you, but just you're not going to be able to access our full game. They're finally saying, here you go. Competitive players, if you're a hardcore player, there are things that you're going to get. They will set you above the rest. The Redrix's Claymore, whenever you have Desperado, has a 0.6 second time to kill. It is by far the fastest killing pulse rifle in the game. Disgusting. I'm so excited to get it. And I would go on that more, but I would like to go into the TWAB if you don't mind.
No, that's fine.
Okay, so... Okay, the main thing, the first thing, exotic investments. How do you make an exotic feel more exotic? It's a two-part question, including how it feels to acquire and upgrade the weapon and how it feels to use it. To answer the question, we have Mark Uyeda, I apologize, Mark, here to walk us through the process. Why can't someone just be Dave? Dave. Just give me an easy name, please. Mark, our goals in extending Masterwork perks and mechanics to exotic weapons are to primarily create in-game goals for hobbyist players and reinforce specific activities with these long-tail pursuits. Now that sounds awesome. There are a few problem spaces that we wanted to address when creating the exotic Masterwork pursuit. First up, exotics in Destiny 2 are very easy to acquire. Many players have most, if not all, of the non-quest exotics. As we don't want to make players re-earn every exotic weapon, exotic Masterwork acquisition and progression needed to take place after acquisition. Additionally, we needed to figure out player-friendly ways of representing the process of obtaining and applying an exotic Masterwork. The milestone tray does not provide a good flow for every exotic Masterwork, and bounties are planned for summer. What? The milestone tray doesn't provide a good flow for every exotic Masterwork? I don't understand there. I don't understand what that was supposed to say. With these goals and restrictions, we landed on the following player experience. There will be one exotic Masterwork per exotic weapon that exists so far in Destiny 2. In order to begin the Masterwork process, players will have to find an exotic Masterwork catalyst. When inspecting the exotic, there will be a hint at what activities can grant the catalyst for the weapon. Not all exotic Masterworks have the same drop rates. Some exotic Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yep. Some exotic Masterwork weapons are guaranteed after a certain amount of engagement, while others are earned at random. So the example to give is Cold Heart, found in strikes against the most challenging opponents. So I'm guessing you can get the Cold Heart Catalyst by doing Nightfalls, is what that sounds like. Once acquired, the Catalyst can be applied to immediately enable orb generation on double kills for the weapon. Exotic weapons with Catalyst applied will also start tracking number of enemies defeated like their legendary Masterwork counterparts. After applying the Catalyst, there will be a bounty-like objective available that needs to be completed in order to upgrade to the final Masterwork state, which will apply a stat/perk bonus to the weapon. So then they show Cold Heart again. The objective is defeat enemies using Cold Heart to unlock the upgrade. And then it'll give like the final perk. So not only do Masterwork exotics still do the same thing, they do more, which is really cool. A few Masterworks will require you to do a single thing, while others have multiple steps. These objectives will vary in difficulty and length, but will not be determined by RNG. The goal for these objectives is to push the player to engage with the weapon that they wish to make into a full Masterwork. When it comes to difficulty, there are a few exotics paired with difficult activities or accomplishments in-game. We're expecting that there may be one or two Masterwork weapons that give players the opportunity to set goals in mastering specific activities in order to earn their most desired Masterwork. This better mean there's some raid Masterworks, Bungo. If we get like a Legend of Eris by doing like the Prestige raid 10 times, like sign me up! To get ahead of a few questions we're expecting, here's a quick roundup of more specific notes. Exotic weapon masterwork pursuits only need to be done once per account. You don't have to chase your white whale on each character. That's pretty cool. Through exotic masterwork process, duplicate drops of an exotic weapon via engrams, milestones, or even exotic collection will be initialized at your current masterwork upgrade state. The exotic masterwork process takes place fully in the weapon detail screen. There won't be any objectives that take up character inventory space. Not all exotic masterworks will be available immediately when Season 3 begins. If you expect an exotic weapon and Masterwork socket is not available, the catalyst is not yet available. We won't be publishing guides on how to acquire specific exotic masterworks. This is in your hands. As with all things in Destiny 2, these new features are subject to evolution. We'll be monitoring acquisition rates and community reaction once these are wild and adjusting as needed. Wow.
Well, first thoughts, you know what that tells me? That they're not making guides for it. That means they're trying to get all the streamers and everything back to making guides for Destiny 2. I like that.
I was so happy with the system before I read this, knowing that they're even more powerful than I thought, and then knowing that it is in fact a two-step system, that some of them have random RNG rates that you have to grind specific activities, and then some of the second steps are in some of the hardest activities. Like, that makes me so excited to be a hardcore player.
How about that full stability cold heart there? Or almost full stability.
Oh my gosh, you're right!
Yeah. I like that.
Wow, yeah, increases the reload speed and the stability. Oh my god, that's awesome. Yo, Wolfie, thank you. Thank you so much, man. That's awesome. Freaking Bungie killing it, man. I've never been so freaking excited. Woo! Imagine if Bungie adds different exotic masterworks in new DLC, so you can customize the guns with different perks. That's from Arlo, and that's a really good point, because they did say somewhere here, there will be one exotic masterwork per exotic weapon that exists so far in Destiny 2. And I would not be surprised if they do continue to add those. That's an excellent point, actually. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, kind of like they did ornaments, only different masterworks. That'd be kind of cool.
I'm so excited. Man, god dang it, Bungie. I gotta go see a movie. What are you doing? I'm excited about that. All right, I'm going to keep kind of going just so I'm not late, because I have 10 minutes. And then we're going to keep going. So the next part is about the exotic changes. Tractor Cannon, we've already seen. We already talked about it. Hard Lights, we've already talked about it. Borealis. For Borealis, the utility of having a weapon that can match damage or any damage shield on the fly is good, but in order to make the weapon great, we wanted to double down on the reward for successfully pulling this off. After breaking an enemy's shield with a matching damage type, Borealis now deals double damage until the next reload or damage type swap. For PvE activities, it gives the weapon a more reliable benefit than Hard Light in both casual and high pressure activities. That's actually really cool. We can't use Borealis. Let's see what they do. Let's just, it's a 14-second clip, why not? Switches elements. Oh, Jesus Christ. So we broke that guy's shield in Crucible. I don't know if you're probably a couple seconds behind Jay-Z. So we broke a guy's shield in Crucible, and that procced double damage. So he was able to one-shot 2 other people.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's just now playing.
God dang it. I don't even have Borealis. This is the first time in the history of ever I'm jealous of a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah. And he didn't do any headshots on that. That was all body.
God dang. Okay. Season Crucible ranks, we've already talked about it. You get the awesome gun that I'm super excited for, because that means in the future now, Bungie can be like, you know what? Hardcore players get this, which is exactly what everything we've talked about has done. I've done videos on this if you guys want. Matchmaking, Iron Banner comes back next week. Not next week. Yes, next week. And then that's it. I really hate to skip out over this. Let me read this. It's good to be back in the office. We're less than 2 weeks out from Warmind in the beginning of Season 3. Restoring the hobby in Destiny 2 has been a major goal throughout the development process, and what you've read above are a few steps in that direction. Soon it will be in your hands, and we're ready to process your feedback. See you in the Crucible. I need to get some practice before Crucible ranks go live. I'm not sure if my team can reach Mythic status, so I'm not pulling my weight. Man, I'm just... Bungie! Yeah! Okay. Okay. Well, I think that's everything. Final thoughts in chat so I can wrap it up and then go. How's everyone doing it? Forcer says, so Cold Bart is stability and reload, Vigilance Wing is full auto, Crimson is max range. And that's just, like, think about everything they could do, Jay-Z.
Yeah,
like,
well, they'll probably give Vigilance something else to another stat boost.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Full auto is pretty powerful, but yeah, you're probably right. And then, like, Wardcliff Coil. What if, okay, Wardcliff Coil or any of the exotic, is there another exotic rocket launcher? Is that the only one? Yeah, that's the only one. That's the only one. Needs to be able to have more than one rocket in the magazine. Please let that be the Masterwork. I'm sick of one rocket things.
Well, plus that, and it's not a long-range rocket, so it's like, it's not going to help you a ton in high-level activities. So, like, let us run around with 2 rockets and patrol. Wow, words. Yes, patrol.
There you go. Man, yeah, I mean, Arlo sums it up. My thoughts are, this is super good. Nothing else needs to be said. I mean, it's super amazing.
Well,
like,
I mean, they're bringing the grind back into the game.
This is
what I've been asking for since day one.
Yeah, this is, in my opinion, from what we have seen so far, the most grind-intensive content in Destiny yet, ever, including like all 4 years. This is what the game needs right now. This is what I want right now, and like I can't wait. I'm so excited. This is stuff that not only I enjoy, that I know my subs enjoy, I know all my friends enjoy, I know the community enjoys. So this DLC is going to consist of me enjoying the hell out of everything and being super excited to produce content and having people that I haven't played with in a long time coming back. Like, I'm just so excited about this, man.
Well, this might actually like also give it legs until the next DLC, which when House of Wolves came out, it only had like a month to 2 months worth of content in it. So this hopefully will give it a 3-4 month.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, there's 4 months until next DLC, and this is the way I was breaking it down for Josh. It takes a month to hit maximum light. I'm going to say another month to get everything we want. 2 months worth of content. In the middle of summer, we get the new exclusive limited time event, which I'm saying is going to last 2 weeks because that's the average. And then by the time that's done, that's the hype cycle for the September DLC. Like, this is perfectly bridging everything together. That's not even including the major update we get in the summer. That's not including the prestige versions of the raids, which we know we were getting loadout mode and stuff. Like, I'm so freaking excited, and I really hate that I have to go, but I am so freaking excited. Like, all right, closing words, Jay-Z.
Pumped. I can't wait to grind. Again, finally, for one time.
Finally.
Since the beginning of Destiny 2, when the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's been barely any grind other than grinding the raid.
Dude.
This gives us play with every exotic because you have to play with every exotic. It's just showing this because you have to get kills with it. Boom, right there.
I'm so excited. I just this week. I don't plan on getting, or not this week, but the week of the 8th, I don't plan on sleeping at all. I'm very excited about that. Freaking, oh man. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks, everyone. It's amazing to see so much positivity in chat. Any new subs that we got during the stream, thank you. Wolfie, thank you for the donation. I hope you guys like the new Hype Warmind emote that you get if you're sponsoring. Freaking awesome. If you want to sponsor, green button above your chat box or below it or somewhere. But all in all, this DLC is gorgeous. I'm so freaking excited for all of these changes, and I wish I could stick around and talk about it for another hour. Who knows? I mean, we'll probably do a live stream sometime this week, and you bet your ass I'm going to be talking about it for a long time. So thanks you, each and every one of you, for coming out, joining the stream. Follow me on Twitter at Skarrow9 to get updated when new video streams are coming out, especially with all this awesome stuff. You're going to want to be following over there and to stay up to date. And then, Jay-Z, do your thing, man.
Jay-Z Basketball 25 on Xbox and Twitter.
There we go, guys. I'm so freaking excited. Thank you guys once again. And, yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.